So first of all, I want to say that my favorite types of movies are creature features, slasher flicks, possession movies, and zombie movies. Those are the type of movies that I love to watch. Like usually when I see one of these type of movies, I even if they have a lot of problems, and most of them do, I usually just enjoy them a lot. It's just something about those movies that are is always so much fun. With that said, about a month and a half ago, I got myself See No Evil 2, or in this case, Kane in See No Evil 2. Many years ago, I went to the movie theater. I actually skipped college that day. I remember I was still in college when when the first movie came out. And I actually skipped college that day so I could go to the matinee, and I actually went alone. Because none of my friends wanted to see Kane, a wrestler in a slasher movie. And it was March. I remember it was March. Because I remember that in the WWE they had like a vignettes of something that, it was May. Yeah, May 13. Yeah, May 13. That Kane had done something in May 13, and eventually it was that May 13 was both the day that Kane killed his parents and the day that the first movie came out. So I found this in the garbage, almost in the bargain bin, in a Walmart, and I got it for myself. And I finally got around to watch that movie. And honestly, I like the first one. My biggest problem with the first one, it was just how it was set up, because it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It didn't really matter how it was set up. It was a bunch of prisoners were sent to clean up an abandoned hotel, and there they met with Jacob Goodnight, who is Kane, who is a serial killer, and he killed most of them. Alright, granted, whatever. My problem was the fact that they were prison inmates, and they all looked like supermodels. They were all really good looking people, and it's not that people that go to jail look bad, but usually people that go to jail don't look as good as those people do, with so damn clean and stuff. Check out the movie for yourself. I enjoy it, and I can actually, if you like slasher movies, I can recommend it. However, the second one, I think it was 20 times better than the first one, because it's just the plot. Alright, it's slight spoilers if there's a second one. Yeah, Jacob Goodnight survived a fall from a 5-story building, 5-story window, I want to say, and getting impaled in his eye with a tube, and falling on his back. He survived that. They took him to a morgue because they thought he was dead, and I'm gonna talk about a couple of scenes that I really enjoyed throughout the movie. See, there's this two guys and a chick are working in a morgue. The boss of the morgue is a guy in a wheelchair, and the guy that's not in a wheelchair has the hots for the girl that works at the morgue, and she sort of likes him as well. They bring in all these things. The funny thing is that the guy that can walk, his name in the movie is Seth. And the funny thing is, he kind of looks like Seth Rogen. So I wonder if WWE Studios wanted to get Seth Rogen, and on the movie he said no, and they just ended up giving that guy his name or something, because he actually he looks like a skinnier version of Seth Rogen. And Seth Rogen has lost a lot of pounds actually, but he still looks like an even skinnier version of Seth Rogen. So I don't know, that was weird, but I like how he acted though. The girl was weird though, because the girl was like, she's so all peppy-go-lucky, ha ha ha. I'm like a bit of a dark girl because I like working at the morgue and stuff, but I do like to go out partying. But when somebody says something serious, she's instantly like, just get that very serious, scared face. It's like, oh yeah, they're joking. Oh yeah, the guy killed people. Oh yeah, they're bringing him to the morgue. Oh, this is the body. And it's just weird that she decided to go with those takes. Just because it felt really phoned in, and very forced. And she was acting sort of natural up to the up until like 2 scenes where she did that. Now her friends throw her a surprise birthday party at the yeah, spoilers, at the morgue because it's her birthday. And then there's this chick that's into reading up on serial killers, and she has her boyfriend there. She's like, oh, I want to go see Jacob Goodnight. And they go to where he is. She starts getting all hot. Oh yeah, you kill people. Why did you do it? Starts touching the body. And the guy's like, her boyfriend's like, yo bitch, you better stop that. That's freaky. But they end up having sex next to the body of Jacob. And throughout all of this, we have seen that Jacob's hands have been twitching from time to time, so we know that he's actually alive. So they start having sex next to the body of the serial killer. And what I liked about this movie is that it actually has scary moments within the movie, because you as the viewer, you're probably not gonna get scared because there's no scary sounds or anything, but the whole fact of what happened is scary. Because imagine yourself this: let's suppose you're into freaky stuff and you're having sex with your girl next to a body, next to a dead body. You know, you're doing her and suddenly you look to the side and the body's no longer there. That's what happened in the movie. Like, you don't see Jacob getting off the morgue table, and I told myself that is creepy. That is scary. You again, just imagine that you're into weird, freaky stuff. You're having sex with your girl in the morgue, and suddenly one of the bodies that was there laying, it's no longer there. So they freaked the f out. So I really like that scene because, you know, if you put yourself there, you will be scared shitless as well. Then they do the whole thing that the lights go off. They get out some matches. Then, oh, ow, you know, the matches burn her finger, and she drops the matches, and I'm like, okay, so she's gonna do the matches again, and he's gonna be standing behind them. Granted, tacky, sure, but I like those scenes. And to just add a little bit of oomph, he should just go like between them and just blow it. That would be really cool, but they didn't. And then, you know, they walk a little bit, and ow, she throws down the matches, and then she does it again. And then the third time is actually when Jacob Goodnight is behind them. And I'm like, okay, so just put us in the false sense of security of, oh, the second time he wasn't there, so they're not gonna go with that trope, but then he was there. Then what they do, they decided to go with the whole, she started the matches, right? She started burning the matches, and then she just felt Jacob Goodnight behind them, and she turns around. I still think what it would have been cool was she turns on the matches the third time, and then Jacob Goodnight just goes between them, and I think that would have been cooler. But it was fine the way they did it. He goes around killing people, not that many people this time, because they had the wheelchair guy, the main morgue guy, the main morgue girl, her brother, her brother Squeeze, the girl that's in love with her brother, and the freaky chick that's into serial killers, and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's the first one to go. Surprisingly enough, I think the freaky chick would have been the first one to go. Then the one that goes after that is the girl that's in love with the main actress's brother. Then the chick that's into the freaky... Oh, no, the second one to go is the guy in the wheelchair. Yeah, I guess, you know, easy target. Then the girl that's in love with the boyfriend. The girl that's in love with the brother. Then the chick that's into the freaky stuff. And that's then the brother. Then the brother go, and the way they did the brother was really interesting because he was in a bed. They take off some drapes that were on top of him, and he had tape on his mouth, and they take off the tape, and he's like, run! And then like a buzzsaw, like not like an electric bone saw, juts out from his back and like starts killing him and gutting him up. So the thing is that means that Jacob grabbed that guy, put them in that bed, wrapped them up, put the tape, covered him up, and then went under him with the electric bone saw to wait for those two to come in just to kill them. So that was weird. Jacob Goodnight took a burn victim's burn mask and he put it on to hold the little bit of gauze he had over the eye, because he does have a hole in that eye. So at least they kept that. Then the deaths weren't that wow. He stuffed the freaky chick's boyfriend inside of one of those morgue boxes. And the chick that was in love with the main actress's brother, Jacob also like killed her and then wrapped her dead body in some chains to guard an exit. Because it's weird that this guy Jacob Goodnight, has been trained by his mother, overly Christian and sell his mother to kill people because they're all sinners. But he takes the time to do this and wrap her up in chains and put her next to a door. I just think it's weird that he's just doing that. Jacob Goodnight actually talks in this movie. He actually has more than one line, which was a bit interesting. He's struggling with oh, mother, I don't see the sin, I don't see the sin. But he still kills them anyways. The girl's like, Jacob Goodnight says once, oh, I won't do it. And the girl's like, oh, thank God. And Jacob turns to her and says, you think God is going to help you? And then just kills her. No, the girl just croaks. Because she had lost, she was gasping for air. Because he broke her trachea. And then she just finally died. The main actress, who I forget her name, and Seth, because I remember his name because, again, he looks like Seth Rogen. They go around because obviously underneath this morgue there's an underground basement system, like an older morgue maybe. They go through there. Jacob is following them. Surprisingly enough, even though this is the first time Jacob's been in this complex, he knows how to get around and how to be faster than anybody else. Slasher movie logic, but again, I even though it's stupid, I still enjoyed it. It makes sense that these two, the main actors, actually do know how to go through the morgue because they have been working there for years, apparently. Excuse me. That's some good H2O. Now, they get to a point where they try to go outside, and then the chick notices that Jacob is actually outside waiting for them. And Jacob crashes through the window, and oh yeah, there's a security door at one point, and Jacob just blasts through it. And I thought that if I would ever make a review for this, like, you know, the whole, oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, like, use all those 3 sound clips, because Jacob actually crashes through doors 3 times in the movie, and I'm like, oh, it actually fits in on itself. So, not that I'm probably gonna do it. I'm still like trying to focus on tabletop RPG things. So, they do this thing where they're running away from Jacob, and you're thinking, you know, it's a slasher flick. Obviously, the girl is gonna be the one that survives at the end because it's basically she is the main character. The movie was basically revolving around her. It's her birthday. Her friends were there. The movie started with her. And all that stuff. And when they're running away, the Seth it's like struggling to keep up because he took an electric bone saw to the shoulder, and then she cauterized the wound, and he lost a lot of blood already. So the guy is struggling to keep up. But as she's trying to open the door, I'm thinking, okay, so Seth is struggling, Jacob's gonna go behind him, kill him, and then the girl's gonna be able to escape. Nope. While she's trying to open the door, just you hear a splurge sound, and she looks down, and Jacob actually stabbed her through the door, and just made a big gaping hole on the door, and she died. And I'm like, whoa. So one of 2 things is gonna happen. Either they're all gonna die, which is something that slasher films don't do enough and it would have been very awesome for them to do. Or two, the guy is gonna survive. And usually in slasher films, the guy never survives. And I'm like, okay, that's a nice change of pace. I can get in on this. They go with the guy surviving. I think it would have been bolder to just eventually Jacob catches up to him and just kills him outright. I think that would have been cooler because you don't see that much in slasher films. But no, the guy kills him. They go back to the room where they were trying to get to the outside. And Jacob's gonna attack the guy, and Seth at the beginning of the movie says, "Oh, I am never scared." And he showed it there. It was really cool. He took the embalming machine, the machine that pours in the embalming fluid, and he stabbed it into Jacob and turned it on, and just started pumping that liquid into Jacob Goodnight. I'm like, ew! You see all his veins like start turning blue, and he's starting a little bit bloated, and then through his eye hole a bunch of green liquid starts churning out because the embalming fluid is, I mean, not green, blue. The embalming fluid in that movie, I don't know if embalming fluid is actually blue, but in the movie they use some blue fluid for embalming. Maybe it was Gatorade, I don't know. But they're pumping that, and I'm like, this is disgusting, and I have not seen somebody kill a slasher this way with embalming fluid, so I'll give also the movie props there. He falls down, Seth gets in his car and he drives away, like he strokes the girl, his then girlfriend, because they actually ended up making out. Strokes his hair because he's sad that she died. Then he does the Hollywood thing where he closes her eyes. Newsflash, closing people's eyes after they died is not that easy. Trust me, I know. And don't ask me how I know that. So he drives away, and then he stops to open the gate of the morgue, and then an honest to goodness scary scene happens again, because he turns around, no big sounds, just look at the ambience, just look at what's happening, and just by that merit alone, that is scary. He looks behind him and he sees that the back door of his car is open. And I told myself, holy crap, that is genuinely scary. Imagine yourself having a scare, the scare of your life. Having the scare of your life, even if you haven't had the scare of your life. Imagine yourself opening or closing a gate, and you're gonna get back into your car and you see one of the back doors is open. Did somebody get in? Did somebody get out? What the hell's happening? The guy's freaking out, and then you see Jacob Goodnight behind him. He grabs him by the head and starts putting his fingers into his eyes. Yeah, I know. I had told you that Seth survives. The thing is that when it comes to slasher movies, the last one to survive after the slasher is killed, most of the time they die anyways, because these slashers are supernatural beings anyway. So that's the whole point. Seth survived till the end. He was the one that survived. Yes, he got killed, but that just follows in the supernatural slasher trope. That's the whole idea. You know, he survived, but yeah, he gets killed because you're not killing Jacob Goodnight ever, because whatever, Jason. What was interesting is that you see a lot of his body has some blue glows because of the embalming fluid. So it was interesting. I enjoyed that they killed him because whatever, it's a slasher film. I like people getting killed by slashers because that's what we watch slasher films for. Now the thing is that the final scenes is them showing where their bodies were at the end of the movie, and then showing their bodies in the morgue after they, tagged them. And then at the end, after they show all that, they show you scenes of Jacob Goodnight's mother torturing him and telling him that he's a soldier of God and he has to cleanse the sin of people. And then you see an image of, like this, of Jacob Goodnight's face smiling and saying, "I can finally see it." And then the movie ends. And I'm like, you know what? That is creepy and effed up. That is genuinely creepy. His ugly mug is the last thing you see, smiling and saying, "I can finally see it." That is genuine nightmare fuel, nightmare material. So I can really recommend this movie because it was really, really well done. Now, since we have an okay first movie, a great sequel, I really think we should ham it up in the third one. In the third one, I want Jacob to walk to Madison Square Garden or to a big stadium while the WWE is having an event. That's what I want for the next movie. So I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this. I want Jacob Goodnight to, cause Kane has always been one of my favorite wrestlers. I love the guy. I really love the guy that portrays him. I never had a problem with Corporate Kane. I never had a problem with Demon Kane. Honest to goodness, I enjoyed all those little iterations of him. So I want Jacob Goodnight to become a household name from one day to the next, because the next movie he should have the biggest death count, the biggest body count of any single slasher ever. And the WWE studios, they can totally pull this off. Just have Jacob Goodnight go into a WWE event and just kill everybody in the audience. Just kill over 10,000 people. Just make the movie 2 hours long and just make a huge ass montage of him killing people, or just dropping really heavy things on them from up top. That just that, it would be amazing, because again, it would just catapult him into slasher royalty. He will be right up there with Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and Freddy Krueger right off the bat if he does that. And then of course, just so we can have our jollies, have him kill some WWE superstars. Just have him kill The Miz. I don't know. Have him have a fight against Glenn Jacobs. You know, against himself. Have him fight Kane during a point in the movie. That would be freaking awesome. I think that would be amazing. I think what they could do is keep kayfabe up during the movie. Don't break kayfabe. Make it so that, you know, it's a fantasy world. There's monsters in the movie. Don't bring it into reality, because I know the WWE doesn't want to make kids think that this is real. So don't break kayfabe during the movie. Don't have people call Kane Glenn Jacobs or anything like that. If you have Undertaker there, and please have Undertaker there. Don't have people call Undertaker Mark, or, you know, don't have people call Triple H Paul. Yeah, you can have them call him Hunter, whatever. But you know, have these superstars there and have them die. Have them, between a lot of them, I don't know, have AJ Styles having to team up with Dean Ambrose, and them, or have John Cena and The Rock teaming up to beat this guy, because, you know, in kayfabe they hate each other, so you can already do that. Or the way I would do it is Mr. McMahon appears, or Triple H appears, and he says, this guy he's supernatural. We have our own supernatural guy as well. And then they bring in The Undertaker. And then The Undertaker fights Jacob Goodnight. And Jacob Goodnight actually just, like, kills Undertaker. But then a couple of minutes later, after Jacob Goodnight's killing other people, Undertaker appears and he says, "They call me the dead man." And just kills and just shoots lightning at Jacob Goodnight and just throws a thunderbolt on him. Because you have any idea how much this movie would kill? How awesome this movie would be if they actually went balls to the wall crazy, giving wrestlers these superpowers. Just again, have Kane there with the Hellfire thing, and have Undertaker with the Undertaker lightning thing, and just have them go all out on Jacob Goodnight. That would be freaking. I think honestly, I think that would be freaking amazing. Don't spill that into actual Raw or SmackDown, because then it's just gonna suck, because it always does. Whenever they try, cause if you tie in wrestling to the movie, it's probably gonna be cheesy fun. If you tie the movie to wrestling, then it's gonna suck like it was with May 13 and RoboCop. Let me know, have you seen the first one? Have you seen the second one? Would you be interested in a third one? What do you think of my idea for the third one? I honestly think that's the direction they should go with. In other news, they released a Leprechaun movie. Basically, they rebooted the Leprechaun series, and Hornswoggle played the Leprechaun. That made me cringe a little bit. That's just insulting. Racist? Heightist? I don't know, man. It was just weird. So, See No Evil 2, or Kane in See No Evil 2, if you like slasher movies, I can wholeheartedly... What was the word? Recommend this one. Go watch it. Seriously, catch it. It's actually really good. I enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite slasher films of all times right now. It was really good. My favorite creature feature, I would say, is Cabin in the Woods, and generally that is my favorite horror film. I'm probably gonna be doing a lot more vlogs from now on, because I'm not gonna review anything until I get a new camera, because I really dislike the whole blurry camera thing. Sadly, this camera, it's not meant to record that much. It's not a camcorder. So hopefully, I already ordered a new camera. Hopefully I'll be getting that soon. In the meantime, so I know that you watched until the end, write down in the comment section below, Kane should have never been unmasked. So I know. And until next time, adventurers, remember rule number 1, always have fun.